Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So I am going to be doing something special for this one. I'm going to be doing a author spotlight, author binge. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call it, but I have a whole list of authors that I've read one or two books from that I really want to dig more into their backlist because I loved the book that I had read from them. So the first person I'm going to do is Brittainy C. Cherry. I read Eleanor and Gray and gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it, and I have heard nothing but good things about Brittainy C. Cherry. Her average rating on Goodreads is like 4.3 or something ridiculous. She has 12 books and I've read one, and that is not enough. So I put her at the top of the list because I really want to make sure that I am intentional in reading diversely, and especially in this time, but always, I really want to take a closer look at what I'm consuming, both in BookTube, both in books, making sure that I'm not just hearing the same voice over and over and over and sitting in white privilege. I want to make sure that I am hearing the voices of diverse authors and that I'm supporting them. And so I have chosen to do her first, to do exactly that and just show a little bit of support in whatever way I can. And so when I decided to dig into her backlist, I had no idea where to start. There are 11 books that I have not read, and all of them have ratings above 4 stars. So I don't know where to start. They all sound fantastic to me. So I went and asked some of my romance reading friends and said, hey, what's your favorite Brittainy C. Cherry? So what I decided to start with was The Gravity of Us.
Hey everyone, it's about 1 o'clock on Monday, and I just am getting on to let you know I just finished The Gravity of Us by Brittainy C. Cherry, and I guess I don't need to say who it's by because obviously you'll know. And I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. So this book is about Graham and Lucy, and Graham is a famous author. And he has had quite a few things happen to him in his life that have left him very cold and not able to love and not open to love at all. And so he is just this very dark, unloving guy. And he is married to this woman named Jane, and they are about to have their first baby. And then stuff happens there. And then Lucy is one of 3 sisters, and she is just this woman who feels emotions to the extreme. She feels everything. And so the two, Graham and Lucy, could not be more opposite. And yet fate kind of has an idea for them. So this book is really good, talking about found family and the power of love and the power of family, whatever that may look like. And overall, I thought there were some things that were almost similar to Eleanor and Gray, in that he becomes a single dad to a little girl, and she steps in and helps him with said little girl. And so it's kind of similar in that regard. The background about why and all of that is way, 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 way different. Overall, I feel like this book was 100 pages too short. It was 260, 270 pages. And I really feel like the end kind of happened pretty quickly. And the conflict, the resolution, and all of that just happened very quickly. And I think it just could have benefited from a little bit more depth to it. But I really like the characters. Graham has this mentor named Ollie, and I loved him. He was just such a sweet guy, and taught Lucy kind of how to read Graham and how to get get to know him better. And I just loved how he was kind of rooting for them the whole time. And overall, I thought this was a very enjoyable book. Not as good as Eleanor and Gray, but still 4 stars. So next, and that one, Gravity Between Us was Steph from Steph Romance Book Talk. I'll link her down below. It was the one she said was her favorite. So next, I'm going to read Bree from In Love and Words, her favorite, which is Behind the Bars. And I'm trying to go into these not really knowing a whole lot, so I will update later when I have more, when I've started it. Bye. I forgot I wanted to do a quick life update just because these days leading up to baby, I know I'm going to want to remember what the heck we did. So this morning, I have still got this dang pinched nerve, and it is killer. It is so uncomfortable, and I feel like it really is just my body saying I am done. And so I'm hoping for labor, but no contractions. I haven't really had any since last week at all, so my hope is dying quickly. But so we played in the pool for a little bit this morning, the little baby pool, and then we came inside, did some just random stuff, and then I don't know if you can see behind me, there's Cosmic Kids Yoga going on, and now we're just killing about half an hour before nap time, and the pool is like the best $30 or $40 I ever spent, because that's how I was able to read that whole book this morning. Is she just loves to play, and so then I can just sit by and watch, and we both get a little vitamin D, and it's just wonderful. So that's really all we've done today, and now I will update. I'm going to read during nap time, and then I'll update sometime tonight. Hey everyone, so it's about 5:45 and I'm just leaving the OB's office because I had a sonogram tonight at 5:30, which is really weird. Like, the whole parking lot here is like medical places, and it's like a ghost town. I didn't even know they stayed open this late, but I guess they do. So I had a sonogram just to check baby's movement and again, kind of size and fluid level and all of that, and looks good. She looks to be like 8.5 pounds. So I'm a little scared. My first daughter was 7.5, and that felt big. So 8.5, and she finally, for the first time ever, does not have her hands in her face. And so we got some better profile pictures, but also she's so cramped in there that it's hard to get a good picture anyway. So got nice to see her. Nice to see she was moving good. She was breathing good. Everything looked really good. So yeah, we are just ready for her to come. So fingers crossed. But I started behind the bars during nap time, and it is so good. So the first half, I'm halfway through it, and the first half is all when they are teenagers. It's about a girl named, I am blanking on her name, Jasmine, and a guy named Elliot. And Jasmine is this beautiful person, like beautiful physically person. And her mom is like a stage mom, and she wants her to become a pop star. But Jasmine has this talent for singing soul music. And her mom's like, girlfriend, you're white. That's not okay. Tells her all these limitations because of the color of her skin. And it is like, she supposedly has this voice that is just outrageously beautiful. And then Elliot, it says his skin is caramel colored. I don't know. The cover I think has a black man, but I'm not sure really what ethnicity he is. But he also sings and plays saxophone and like plays jazz music, and they live in New Orleans, and so he plays every Saturday night. And she like bumps into him while he's playing and is like wowed by him, and then realizes it's a kid who goes to her school, and he's very badly bullied. And so she is like new to the school because her mom is a stage mom and has always homeschooled her, and finally allows her to go to public school. And so she befriends him. And at first, of course, he's very not trusting of her, because he's like, why? She's instantly popular, so why is this popular girl like trying to be friends with me? And we just watch them like become friends and learn to trust each other and share music together and start to develop feelings for each other. And it's just so sweet. And he comes from a family where he's got a single mom and a sister. And the way the mom loves those kids is like the way I want to be with my kids. And she just like is their friend, but in a like healthy parenting way. And just like, she's a mama bear, and she is just a wonderful, wonderful character. And something happens at halfway in, and it breaks my heart. Like, I was not expecting it at all. And so it really got me in the feels. I'm not a crier in books, but this one almost got me. It was like just such an impactful moment. And so now at halfway, like, what this thing that happens causes them to lose touch. And so now it's like 6 years later or something, and Jasmine has come back to New Orleans, and I am guessing they're going to re-meet up, and it's going to be another story like that. And I have heard that Brittainy C. Cherry does that quite a few times in her books, where it's like two timelines, one when they're younger and one when they're older, and I really enjoy that. But I am a sucker for second chance romance or any sort of like established relationship, so no surprise that I love that. So I am very invested. I was reading right before I came to this appointment, and I like was almost late because I could not put it down because it's just so good. So that's what's going on. I'm gonna go home. I made a crock pot meal tonight, so dinner should be just about ready when I get there. We'll eat, and then we've been watching The Voice. I don't know if I have told you that. After our Masked Singer debacle, where we no longer watch The Masked Singer because it's rigged, we have started watching The Voice on Hulu, and we just saw that it expires in like 2 weeks. And so we are going to try to watch that, because we, I think, are still in the blind audition. Like, we're in the last episode of the blind auditions, or that's what we watched last night, I think. So we're just getting, my point is we're very, very early in the season. And so we have a lot of watching to do. So when this baby comes, when my first child came, she was born in January of 2018. So the Olympics were going on. And so we did nothing but watch the Olympics for like 2 weeks. And now when this child comes, I think we're going to say it's too hot to go outside. We are going to watch The Voice for nothing but until we're caught up, because we have not very long. So that's the plan for tonight. I will update probably in the morning when I have finished Behind the Bars. But this one I'm seeing like 4.5, maybe even 5 stars. I'm not normally a fan of like music romances, but this one, like I said, that impactful moment just got me good. And if you can get me in the feels, it's a good thing. So yeah, I will update later. Hey everyone, so it's about 10:30 on Tuesday and I'm sitting outside. We are playing, I just set up a bunch of like little experiments and toys and things we can do later, because I am in a lot of pain with this pinched nerve situation. And so moving in general is really hard. So I am trying to make as many different activities for my daughter as I can, so then she can just hop from activity to activity and I can stay sitting and we'll be okay. So I made some paints and froze some toys in ice, and so then she can use like a spray bottle to get them out. And we're currently about to wash the car, and I'm hoping like she'll just like to play in the soapy water and that will entertain her for a while. I don't know. But I finished Behind the Bars by Brittainy C. Cherry this morning, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Like I said, the first half is pretty much YA, and it's about Elliot and Jasmine when they are in high school. And he's super nerdy. She's Miss Popular, but she's, you know, got this mother that is just a stage mom that tries to control her. And then something big and tragic happens that splits them apart. And then 6 years later, Jasmine comes back, and Elliot is a very different man. And so it's very similar to the other Brittainy C. Cherries I've read, Eleanor and Gray. It's kind of a dark guy that then the girl has to like restore him back to his sweet self. The last one, I'm forgetting, The Gravity of Us, was kind of the same. And so this one is also got that trope going on. And so it's also got the element of like found family. Both Elliot and Jasmine have fathers who are not biological fathers but are father figures to them, and I loved that. I loved seeing all of the relationships. Like I said before, the mom in this, Elliot's mom, is like mom goals to the extreme. And even at the end, like things happen in Elliot's family that change some of those dynamics, but she is still just a rockin' mom. And in the acknowledgments, Brittainy C. Cherry says she was like fashioned after her own mom. And so that I was just like, oh, I want to be that mom. And so I loved that. I did think the second half was a little like, not slower. It was actually, it moved pretty quickly, almost too quickly, to the point that I like didn't have the emotional connectedness that I did to the first half. But you also can't have super epic like stories in both parts, if that makes sense. So the first half was definitely about getting to know them. Then this tragedy kind of was the middle point, and then the second half is like picking up the pieces. And so I really enjoyed it, gave it 4 stars. Some of the tropes that I have seen in other Brittainy C. Cherries reappeared, as like I just said. And so I'm kind of wondering if that's like a trend in her writing, but I will keep reading to see. So next, I am going to pick up Loving Mr. Daniels, I think is what it's called. I asked Shelby from Shelby Taggart Reads what her favorite Brittainy C. Cherry was, and she said Eleanor and Gray, but she also just read earlier this month, I think, Loving Mr. Daniels, and said it was very, very good. So I think that's going to be the next one. I think it might be a student-teacher relationship. I don't know for sure. Like I said, Brittainy C. Cherry seems to do both kind of YA and adult, sometimes within the same book. And so I'm excited to see how that goes, and we will check in later when I have an update.
about 5:15 on Tuesday, and we are outside yet again. And as you can tell, it's really hot and sunny, so I'll try to make this quick. But I just finished Loving Mr. Daniels by Brittainy C. Cherry, obviously, and I really liked it. I think she's just going to be a strong, like, 4-star author for me. This one was about, it was almost all, I mean, it was all YA, and so it's about a 19-year-old girl named Ashlyn whose twin sister Gabby dies. And so her mom says, hey, you've got to go live with your dad in Wisconsin. So she leaves Chicago, gets on a bus to go to Wisconsin, and she is very upset about it because she feels like her mom wishes that she would have been the one who died instead of Gabby. And then her dad has also, like, left the family, and so she's got, like, abandonment issues. She doesn't know really where she belongs. She doesn't feel like she belongs anywhere, and she just doesn't feel very good about herself. So she gets there, and on the train she meets this guy named Daniel Daniels, and he is a musician. And so he says, like, hey, I've got this show at this time, this place, come check it out. And so she's instantly got, like, a connection to this guy and a friend in her new town in Wisconsin. So she goes, they have a connection, yada yada, and then she goes to school because she is a 19-year-old senior because she had a heart condition when she was young, and so her mom held her back a year. So she goes to school and finds out that Daniel Daniels is her English teacher. So that is interesting, and that is the romance, and so we figure out how they navigate that. And we get also the story of her two step siblings, because she gets to her dad's house and seemingly didn't know that her dad was married with two stepkids. And so it's a boy and a girl. The boy's a senior, the girl's a junior. And the boy is very, like, outgoing and just very talkative. The girl's a little more shy, a little more easily influenced, I guess. So we hear their stories, but it's told from the perspective of Ashlyn and Daniel. And Gabby, her sister who has died, has also left her a bucket list of things to do and then letters to open when she does the things. So some things are, like, big, like fall in love. Some things are smaller, like dance on a table or drink or something, because this girl, Ashlyn, is very bookish and does not do anything like that. So that I felt like, again, this one does have a big tragic moment, and it was emotional for me, but I felt like what was more emotional for me was reading the letters from Gabby to her sister. And that part, I mean, I'm a sucker for sister relationships, but that part really got me. And, like, one of them was fall in love, and so she wrote a letter to the man that whoever that would be, and it was just so, like, touching and emotional, and yeah, that got me good. But Gabby is portrayed as, like, this perfect person, and sometimes that is obnoxious when people who have passed away are flawless and we don't get to see, like, the real part of them. But even being that way, it was still pretty emotional for me. So I really liked this story. This one did not have, like, the token father figure. It didn't have, like, the token broody male character that had to be kind of pulled out of his shell. So it just had the forbidden romance, and like I said, she was a 19-year-old senior. A truck just went by, I don't know if you heard that, but she is a 19-year-old senior, and he is a young 22-year-old teacher. So the age gap is not that much. But I forgot to tell you, even more complicated, her dad is the vice principal. So they have to keep their relationship hush-hush if they have a relationship, and they just have to navigate all of that. So I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I thought the main character, Ashlyn, was a little self-obsessed, a little woe is me, but she also had reason to be, because she didn't know why, like, her mom was saying deuces, like, go live with your dad, and we do find out later why, and we don't know, from her perspective, I can see why she felt very woe is me, but there were a lot of times where she was pretty, like, self-absorbed. So overall, really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to pick up one more and then stop, because all of these books are very, like, the same type in that they are very emotional. These are all somewhat similar in tone, and you can tell they're written by the same author, and I just think I am ready for a little bit of something different. But the next one I'm going to read is Disgrace, and this one was called something different. I can't remember what it was called. This one is about a married couple, I think, and this woman, like, her husband leaves her, and so it's just going to be nice to take a break from the YA nature of the things and get into that. And so yeah, that is what I'm going to do. I will update probably tomorrow when I have more to say about it. I get so wrapped up talking about the books, I forget to explain the life parts that I put in here. But the whole car washing situation didn't turn out the way I thought it would. Well, it kind of did, actually. She did not have any interest in cleaning the car, so I thought it would be fun because our neighbor was doing it last night or 2 nights ago while we were eating dinner. He was cleaning his truck, and she was like obsessed with it, so I thought she would be really excited to do it. But it turned into just playing in the buckets, which was great because that was self-entertainment too. And then I got like some kitchen utensils out, and so she was able to entertain herself for a while. It ended when she was getting in and out of the bucket and tripped and got like a spot of blood, and so we needed a band-aid, and we needed to be inside and be not on the sidewalk anymore. So that's what we did. Then we spent some time coloring after lunch, and I'm still just loving that coloring book that they got me for Mother's Day, so that is really fun. As far as my little pinched nerve situation goes, I have put we have the thing that is like a deep, kind of, it pulses on your back, because I have had a lot of different back and glute issues because I've been a lifelong runner, and that's really hard on your body. So unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened, and so I've been wearing that, and it's actually feeling a little bit better, so hopefully by tomorrow it'll be brand new. So that's the update on life. We'll talk to you later.
Hey everyone, it is 2:30 on Wednesday. Has been a day. I have been trying to update multiple times throughout the day, and it just hasn't worked out. We've got a little girl that is having some either digestive issues or UTI or something, so that was this morning. I also went and used my last gift card for a massage, and so I got that, and it was wonderful. It's kind of helped with this pinched nerve. I really hope it's resolved soon because that is no fun. But then so I had my massage, went home, ate lunch. Now I just came back to the OB because today is my 40 week check and all that, and I'm 3 centimeters dilated, and things are progressing, so hopefully baby soon. And that's really everything that's been going on. Now I'm gonna go home and hang out for an hour, and then take my daughter in to the doctor to see if we can get her checked for either a UTI or yeast infection or something. So she's just having some issues going on. So today is a weird day because it has been upper 90s, and then this morning it was 60, and it's a cooler day. It's 78 right now. It's actually really nice, and so that is just a nice break from the heat. And as far as reading goes, I have been reading Disgrace, and it is the first half. I would say it was my least favorite book. I would have said this is my least favorite. Now that I'm almost done with it, I'm 90% of the way done, and I am really enjoying it. It's about a girl who is a preacher's daughter and a guy who is just this misfit. And so the girl is married, she lives in Atlanta, whatever. Her husband says he's leaving her for somebody else, and so they sell their house, and then they both go back to their hometown, and they're gonna spend the summer there or something. So when they go back, she runs into this guy who is the town bad guy and always has been. And they kind of have a friendship, and all of these books are very, very, very slow burn. And so they have a friendship that, turns into a relationship, but they both have a lot of issues going on. And so it's that her and her husband had 7 miscarriages. And so infertility is a big topic in this book. So if that's a trigger for you, I would say proceed with caution, because infertility is brought up quite a bit. Alcohol, substance abuse, that kind of stuff is a big topic in this. So so far I am really enjoying it. I have 50 pages left, so that's probably what I'm going to do, is go home, finish that, take my daughter to the doctor, and then go on without the day. So I will check in later and let you know my final thoughts, and we'll see you then. Hey everyone, so it is 5:05 and we are just getting home from the pediatrician and we got her all fixed up. We're good to go. And so yeah, I finished Disgrace earlier and I gave it another 4 stars. So all 4 books got 4 stars for me. And I was thinking like I should rank them and tell you which ones I liked best and which ones I didn't like as much. And I can't really do that. The first one was Gravity of Us, and that one was about single dad kind of situation. He was really dark and broody because of what has happened to him in the past. And then, you know, this girl comes back, whatever. That was good for the single dad. I like that trope. I just had a good time with that one. Then the next one was Behind the Bars, and that one was super emotional and a second chance romance. So of course I loved that one. And then the next one was Loving Mr. Daniel, or Daniels, I'm not sure, and really liked that one. That was YA. That was a teacher student, very interesting. And then this final one was Disgrace, which was a married woman who has been dumped. And yeah, so they all were different and good in their own right. There were some similarities between all of them in that they all have like some sort of deep-seated mama or daddy issues that kind of lead to different things as adults, and that is kind of a common theme I've found across her books. There's almost always like a dark broody guy, although that was not the case in Loving Mr. Daniel. So really I am very pleased with this author Binge. I think I have solidified Brittainy C. Cherry as an auto-buy author and somebody that I will guaranteed enjoy their story. They're emotional, they're hard-hitting, they are still romance, they are just wonderful books that I would highly recommend. So just final thoughts on Disgrace. There are big trigger warnings, like I said, for cheating, substance abuse, and fertility. Those are 3 that are very prominent in this book. And one thing I thought was kind of interesting, her dad is a pastor and there's cheating going on there, and I thought that was an interesting choice. As a Christian woman, I don't know how I really feel about the way the pastor was portrayed. I didn't particularly care for it, and so that one is also, if that is very sensitive to you, I would say maybe proceed with caution, because I don't think this pastor was portrayed in the best light. As far as the story goes, I thought, you know, it's a very much bad boy, good girl story, and it worked out. I really loved, they both bonded over books, and he actually was a huge fan of YA books, which was just funny to see because that's not at all what you would expect. And they also bonded over like sharing just random facts about themselves, and I thought that was so fun. And it got me thinking, like, I don't even know random facts about myself, but it was fun to see them bond in those ways. And this book was really just a huge journey of finding yourself, and both of them have been tied to different identities that other people have given them, and they have to figure out, like, who am I outside of this identity. So I really enjoyed it and thought it was a very good book, and I am ready for a little break from the same type of book, because like I said, there is a similar tone across all of Brittainy C. Cherry's books, and it's a very enjoyable tone. I'm just ready for something a little bit different. So that is the end of this author binge. If you have read any Brittainy C. Cherry's, let me know which one's your favorite. Like I said, the Gravity of Us was recommended by Steph from Steph's Romance Book Talk. The Behind the Bars was by Bree from In Love and Words. And then Loving Mr. Daniel was Shelby from Shelby Taggart Reads, her second favorite. And so it was fun to kind of read a little taste test of everybody's favorites. And I just think this author needs more and more recognition, because I think a lot of people have read 1 or 2 of hers, but not enough have read all of her stuff. I just think she is wonderful and deserves a lot of praise and a lot of readers, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this. So if you would like to see more of these author binges, let me know. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.